Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome back to another Steel movie review. Today we are talking about Cut. So this movie was requested of me to review by one of my creepy patron peeps, Chance. So thank you, Chance, and to all my other creepy patron peeps for support of my channel. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. So directed by Kimball Rendell and starring Molly Ringwald, Frank Roberts, and Jessica Napier, Cut follows a group of film students who attempt to finish a horror movie that stopped production years earlier when the director was murdered. Unaware that every attempt to complete the film coincided with the murder of those involved, the students return to the original location in an isolated town. When the filming begins, so do the killings. So as you can imagine from the summary, Cut is definitely a self-aware, self-reflective horror movie, which I feel like there's so many of these now, like we can even differentiate the different types of self-aware horror movies, I think. I might attempt to do that one day. This is definitely one of those where it's self-aware because it's a horror movie within a horror movie. And much like the Scream franchise, the characters in this movie are aware of all the famous horror directors and horror movies that the audience is also aware of. Now let's get into what I liked about Cut. What I liked about it's a meta slasher, and I always enjoy a good meta slasher. I mean, obviously Scream is my favorite horror movie. I love these types of slashers. I think they're awesome and they're fun, and yeah. And I did like the added layer of the movie within the movie being cursed. So the movie that I was talking about in the summary within the movie is called Hot Blooded. And it's like every time somebody shows the movie or attempts to finish the movie, bad stuff happens and everybody involved dies. So obviously that's the premise that sets up the movie. Like, we know that these people are gonna die because they're attempting to remake this movie. Like that they added that layer of the movie being cursed. And not only that, slight spoiler here, but this movie is almost 20 years old, so I'm not that worried about it. I did like the other added layer of the new director, Raffi, being related to the director of the original film, Hot Blooded, who was murdered. It's her daughter who is attempting to finish her mother's movie, and I like that added layer as well. It wasn't just like, oh, these film students heard about this movie and wanted to remake it. It's like the director has a purpose. She has to finish it for a reason. So I like that they added that layer to it as well. You can definitely tell they were attempting to make a more well-rounded meta slasher, not just it being self-aware for the sake of being self-aware and be like, oh look, we're poking fun at horror movies. Like they were adding different elements to it to make it a more well-rounded film just on its own, not even thinking of it as a self-aware movie. All right, but now we have to move on to what I didn't like about Cut. What I didn't like. I just found myself wishing with this movie that there was more of the movie within the movie, if that makes any sense. If you saw Cut, Shoot, Kill, which I know a lot of you guys actually didn't like, I really did love the movie. What I liked about that movie, even though Cut, Shoot, Kill came way after Cut, it's the same premise, like a horror movie being filmed within a horror movie. But I think they did a really good job of like blurring the lines between what was supposed to be the movie within the movie and what's the actual movie. My head is spinning just saying that. I hope you guys are following me. I wish they had had more of that in Cut. I wish there was more kind of like blurred lines between what was being filmed and what was not the movie within the movie, what's the movie we're watching. Oh, and I'm definitely gonna spoil the origin of the killer here. Basically, what happens is the killer is like the manifestation of like the collective creative energy of the people trying to finish the movie, and it like manifests the killer from the original film into real life. So I feel like that just all comes in a rush at the end of the movie, like just a whole bunch of people dying, and one guy's like, oh, I think that the killer is like a manifestation of all of our energies, and if we destroy the film, it'll destroy him. And that just kind of comes out of thin air. I feel like with those added layers that I was talking about earlier, they were really trying to make a well-rounded movie, but they just threw that in at the end, like this really just quick half-assed explanation that just comes out of nowhere. Nobody discovers this. It's just like, it's like a light bulb or something. Oh, this guy, we're just supposed to believe that this guy comes up with this on his own. I don't know. I don't like, I guess I just would have liked it more if the killer was a real person. Like maybe since we already had like a relation between the murder director and the director of the new movie, maybe the person that's killing everybody whenever they attempt to finish the movie was the son or daughter of the original slasher in Hot Blooded. You know, like, and they have like a vendetta of anybody who tries to finish the movie because of their father being in it. Do you know what I mean? I would have much rather it have been something like that instead of, you know, because that's something, if they revealed it at the end, like it would have been like a surprise, but it wouldn't have been like so far out of left field as like, oh, we manifested him because of our creative energy, so we just have to burn the film and it'll melt him. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Okay, so was cut worth it? I think if you just take it at face value and you're not really thinking too much about it, it's definitely entertaining. I will give it that. But as far as like meta slashers go compared to the other ones that I've seen, it doesn't hold up as well. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 4.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 11% critic score and a 25% audience score. And then on Letterboxd, it has a 2.3 out of 5. You can watch the movie on Amazon if you would like, so I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box for you if you want to check it out that way. As always, there's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. But if you have already seen Cut, let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. First, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Ring that notification bell down there as well to be notified every time a video of mine goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!